Yeah. So, girls, first of all, I need you to introduce yourself. So please tell me where you're from, your age, what's your profession, what you like to do, your hobbies. So, Deborah, could you introduce yourself a little bit?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Deborah. I'm 26. I'm a pharmacy student, and I'm in my last year on my university. Uh, I I so excited to finish. And what else? I like to watching uh, series. I don't used to read books because it's so long, like the video said. But I like to read the mangas because it's more short, and then I can finish it then. So now I'm living in Alfenas, state of Minas Gerais, and for now that's it.
So that's great. I think that mangas are great to practice your reading. And like it's not that long, but it's something that if it's something that you enjoy, it's great because you found something that you like to read. So it's a way to practice your reading. And I think it's really nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I now first of all, before I start to learning language, uh, essentially English, I just read in Portuguese, and now I read the same in mangas, but in English. It's so cool.
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome to practice in English too. Like you practice both languages. I think it's really important. I don't know if you ever tried, but now that you are trying to learn new languages, I mean all of you, now that you're trying to learn a new language, it's great to try to read even like small things in English, an article, it can be online, it can be like books, can be whatever you want. It's great to practice your reading and your speaking too. You can speak what you read out loud, to practice your in the sense. Suellen, what about you? Could you introduce yourself just a little bit?
Yes, my name is Eileen. I'm 26 years old and I live in Rio de Janeiro with my parents and my brother. Recently, I graduated in human resource, and I like to watch talent shows, talking shows, and I like to, sometimes I like to hiking, and that's it.
Hiking. Hiking is
Yeah.
cool. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So, Bruna, what about you?
So I'm Bruna. I'm 31 years old, and I'm from São Paulo, and I'm accountant, and I'm married, and I like to travel and watch some movies and enjoy with my friends. And about books, read books, I like to do it, but sometimes I keep in skipping, I don't know, pulo os dias. And like the video, I can, I would like, but I cannot achieve my goals with the some books, you know. Yes, that's my side.
So yeah, some books are really, I don't know, huge. And if you have like things to do, work and I don't know, study, it's difficult to read everything and to continue like reading. Yeah, I always started reading and I don't finish. So it's really difficult. So let's start with the questions. The first question is, do you like to read books? And if yes, what kind of books do you like to read? And let me add something to this question. If you don't like to read, let's put like movies into that, because I don't know if you guys read a lot. So if you don't like to read, what movies do you like to see, for example, you know? So Deborah, do you like to read books, and what kind of books?
Well, I like to read books. My I like to read romance or drama, sometimes comedy and uh, terror. Oh, but I don't read book frequently because I have no time to do it. But yeah, I like it. Uh, I like it. But how I said before, I prefer read mangas because it's short and I can read just a few pages in few minutes. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's great. So Suelen, what about you?
I like to read the books, and I like to read fantasy, and novel, and fan fiction. I like to.
So what about you, Bruno? What kind of books do you like to read?
I like to read books with for example, psychology and self-knowledge and romantic books. Yeah, so I'm starting to read English now. So I choose 5 love languages, and I will try to read all in English because it's a big challenge for me. But usually I read in Portuguese.
That's awesome to practice. Yeah, I think that's a great way to practice your English. Yeah, that's great. So the next question is, what was the last book you read? So do you guys remember? Or you can be your manga, Deborah, you can be anything. What was the last thing you read? You remember? So Swelling, do you remember the last book you read?
Book I was ready was I'm a Lala. Like a Bruna, I trying to read in English. It's hard for me, but I try. I try.
Yeah, I think like when you need to read in English, if you don't know one word, you just put some, I don't know how to say, and you search it later, because then you get some vocabulary. It's how I try to do it, and that's great. So, Deborah, what about you? Do you remember the last thing you read?
Yeah. In the moment, I'm reading the Geo, this book in English. Not my first, but I'm gonna try to finish this book in my first book in English. And the last book that I read and I finished it, it was The Selection. It's a trilogy of romance, of course, because I love it. And yeah, that's it. I'm reading the Geo. It's romance and mangas. The name I don't remember now, but I'm a read uh, together with the Geo. Sometimes I read the Jill, sometimes I read the manga. It depends depends of my time. That's it.
Yeah, that's great. So, Bruno, what about you? Do you remember the last book you read?
Yes, I'm finishing 12 Rules of Life. Yes, I think it is. And when I'm finishing here, I will change for the other in English.
That's great. So, I think the last book I read was, I think it was Daisy Jones and the Six. It's a book about rock and a band. I don't know, but I thought it was really nice. It was interesting and it showed the backstage of the band and stuff. But yeah, I liked it a lot. So the last question, then the next question is, do you prefer books or movies? So, Suelen, do you prefer books or movies for you? Which one do you like more?
I prefer books because I can touch it and smell the leaves, and the books is now the books has more details of histories. That's it.
Yeah, I also think I prefer books because like you can, like you said, you have more details about the things. And I don't know, you can imagine the way the story, the images in your head, like you can imagine the way you like it. So yeah, that's why I prefer books. So Bruna, what about you? Do you prefer books or movies?
I agree with you all. I prefer books because some have more details and you can imagine some things. And yes, I don't know, when I'm watching a movie, I can stay more lazy, and sometimes I sleepy. So yes, I prefer books also.
So what about you, Deborah? Do you prefer books or movies?
Uh, I prefer books, but I like to see things. Movies, you can see the characters, you can see the expressions, and in books you just imagining, right? And but of course the books have more details. You can imagine things, uh, and you have your own opinion about the book. Uh, for example, another friend read the same book, and then she, I don't know, uh, have a different interpretation of the book, because the book you can imagine everything, and the movie not. The movie is just one interpretation.
Yeah, you've got a point. Like in the movie, it's like just what is there. So you can have like different interpretations, but in books you can have it. So it's different, right? So the fourth question is, what's your favorite book of all time? Do you have a favorite book? Like, you have time to think. So what's your favorite book of all time? I don't know my favorite book. It can be a classical, it can be romantic, it can be horrible. horror, horror, horror. It can be anything. I don't know. I have to think. Swelling, do you have a favorite book of all time in mind?
Sorry, girls, my internet is unstable, so I'm freezing sometimes. My favorite book of all time is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah Dimas. I don't know if you know her, but it's a book about fantasy and romance, and I like very much.
That's really nice. So I love romance, so I will search it. So Bruna, what about you? Do you have a favorite book of all time?
Yes, I'm thinking here about it, and I guess that I have one book that changed my mind about about the money and investment. It's Rich Dad and Poor Dad. You know, when I was a kid, I don't have any education about it. So when I read this book, I can change my mindset about money. I think it is because it's a real, I prefer real things sometimes to learn more things.
Yeah, I think it's really important, this topic, and I'll search for it too. I think it must be really nice. I think it's really important to know about this and how to use your money and stuff and how it works.
Mhm.
Yeah, I also don't have no idea. I need to search about the
It's a
book.
good tip for you
Yeah.
guys.
So Deborah, what about you?
Well, it's a difficult. It's hard to think about it because I don't know if I have, but I know that I like a book that have m- 3, 4 more books. For example, a trilogy. For example, Harry Potter or The Selection. I like this type of book, but I don't have any favorite book.
Yeah, I think I'm like Deborah. I like books that have like something to continue. Like you can, like it makes me like anxious to read the other one. So it's a great feeling of like wanting to read the other one and the other one. So yeah, I like this types of books. And yeah, that's it. So the fifth question is, what genres do you love about books? Like romance, like fiction? What's your favorite one? I think you all said a little bit, but just to answer the question. So Suelen, what's your favorite one?
My favorite genres is fantasy fiction. I like to science and fiction. I like to.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I also like those ones. It's really cool. So Bruna, what about you? I think Bruna have interesting topic, interesting books too. It's like important, like it's something that you need. Like, for example, what she said, she has great advice.
So yeah, I like it, romance as well, but I prefer the real things, that kinds that I can grow up with the things is like psychology and some investments. So I'm not reading a lot of things with the same subject, but once each topic, just to learn some things. And it's like when I watching a movie, I prefer sometimes the real life in movies, just to learn some new things without my area.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, Deborah, what about you?
Well, my favorite one is romance, like I said, but I change all the time. Uh, Sometimes I like to read books that help me development in my development. Sometimes I like to read um histories about history of Brazil or uh, second second where world where and so on. It depends of my moods.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's like you can read everything. It's just like don't read just one type of book. You read all of those, like a little bit of everything. So the sixth question is, what makes you recommend a book to someone? Like, why do you recommend books to somebody? Like, what makes you do it? Uh, Bruna, what makes you recommend a book to someone?
As I said before about investments, it's for me helping me a lot because my families don't have money, and I need to control my finances, and it helped me a lot. It's like uh, the Rich Dad and Poor Dad, and Pai Rico, Pai Pobre. Yes, I think it's the two for me. It's the best, and I recommend it for my friends, and then they like it so much because for education, because you don't have this kind of things on elementary school.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have those
Yes,
things.
it's so sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really important. So yeah, great advice. I will search it for it. I think it's important for real life, like you said. Yeah. So Swelling, what makes you recommend a book to someone?
I like to recommend books because the people can escape the real world, and because the stories and details that have in book, many times in the movie it doesn't have. It's because this.
Yeah, that's also great. Like it's the opposite. Bruno's search for books that like it shows like the real world, and you search for books. But it's great. I think it's important to have a little bit of both. Like it's important to imagine and to go to the fantasy world sometimes, but it's important to see and to deal with things in real life and books that can help you. So yeah. So Deborah, what about you? What makes you
For me, first of all, it's when I feel so excited with the book, I recommend the book for everyone. And when someone have um, when someone someone wanna read a book, and I first uh, question I question the person, what book do you wanna read now? If you wanna develop yourself, if you wanna and just read the romance, if you wanna cry, it depends of the what other people want with the book.
Yeah, that's great. Like you, it depends on what the person wants to read at the moment. Yeah. So, yeah, the seventh question is, have you ever read a book in another language? Can be any language. And which book was it? And if you're reading it, which book you're reading? So, Suelen, can you answer this question 7?
Uh, as as I said, I have trying to read I'm a Alemão. So I try to read one or two pages per day because it's really difficult for me, but that's it.
Yeah, I think Malala is like, it's an awesome book, but like it's really difficult. Like in Portuguese, like it has a lot of vocabulary, like I don't know, of war, no. So it's like, I don't know if in English it's like difficult. You learn a lot, but it's difficult. So yeah, 2 pages a day, that's how you do it because it must be really hard. But yeah, at the end you learn a lot. So yeah, it's a great book. So Bruna, what about you?
Yes, I'm waiting to finish one book in Portuguese, and I will start because I bought it. I think one month ago. It's five love languages, and I don't know if it's. I think it's pretty hard because it will be the first time that I read in English, and yeah, I think it's a big challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but you make it. Yeah,
I hope so.
think, yeah, you make it. So Deborah, what about you?
How I said, um, like as I said, I never finished a book in the other language, just mangas. One time I read a manga in Spanish because it's not it's impossible. Found it in Portuguese, and then I read in Spanish, and another other mangas in English. And yeah, I tried to read uh, Alice in the Underland. I try it, and now I'm a read the Jill in English. I wanna finish it because I love it. It's so excited to read it, and but it's so it's huge. Have 700 pages. It's so huge.
Yeah, it's a huge book. So one day you'll finish.
Yeah, one day. Yeah,
One
it's
day.
difficult because have a very a lot of phrasal verbs.
Yeah.
Idiomatic phrase, but I'm go on and finish it. it's my I don't know, my goal.
Yeah, yeah, it must be really difficult, but you make it too. You guys will make it. So, and it's great to practice, even though you don't like finish the book while you're trying it, it's a way to practice your English and you learn a lot. So it's really important. So the eighth question is, did anyone read to you when you were a kid, and which person used to do that? And if not, why not? So, Ellen, did anyone read to you when you were a kid, when you didn't know how to read?
Yes, did. My mother and my father, my parents, read for me. I don't know how to say in English, but they read GBs, yeah, of Turma da Mônica. That's it. And Cinderella, Alice in the Wonderland. I think is it.
Yeah, like, did you know that like the Madame Monica they have in English and I think in Spanish and in other languages? I think it's really nice, like for kids to, if they can learn another language, if they have this opportunity, it's great for them to start learning from a young age. Because people, they usually say that when we are kids, we learn faster, like other languages. It's easier for us. So like if you have a kid that you like you should like try to make them learn a new language. It's since they are young, it's great because it's easier for them to learn. So that's cool, I think. But if they have the opportunity, because most people don't have the opportunity to learn English like this, it's really difficult, unfortunately. But yeah. So, Deborah, did anyone read to you when you were a kid?
Yeah. My parents use it to read books for me, and in the school, my teachers. That I think that's just my teachers and my parents.
So, what about you, Bruno? Did anyone read to you when you were a kid?
Actually, I didn't remember. I don't have any lembrança. I don't know, lembrança. But I can remember when I was in elementary school, I had a teacher. She bring for the class a lot of GBs, and you can start to read it. But on my home, I didn't remember. I remember that my mother reading a lot, but not for me and my brother. I don't have just lembrança. I don't know what's lembrança. That's it.
So, the next question is, do you prefer reading physical books or ebooks, like online and reading? So, which one do you prefer? Deborah, which one
Of
and
course,
why?
of course, in person, because I feel the book with my hand, and then you can sometimes wrote something in the book, uh, highlight, and I prefer because that uh, when I read in the my tablet or Kindle, I don't feel so excited because it's it seems for me that I'm just sing, not sing, it's read some post or tweet or everything on the internet, not just really read something that feel me have feeling different feelings.
Yeah, I personally agree with you. I prefer the physical books. Like it's better. I don't know. I think it's way better because, like you said, you can highlight things, and you know you can, I don't know, touch and like smell, and I don't know. It's a different feeling to have the book in your hands. So, Swelling, what about you? Which one do you prefer?
I agree with you and Deborah because I have both one and physical books and Kindle. I have a Kindle, and I prefer physical books because I can touch, né? I can touch them, I can smell, and the feel of I the feel I I feel now, I don't know. And that's it.
So, what about you, Bruno? Do you prefer like physical or online to read?
I agree with all of you because I have a Kindle too, and the last books that I read, it's on a Kindle. So I think it's more practical and more and cheaper. But if I can choose one or other, I prefer the physical books as well because the smell, you can put some notes and highlight something like this.
Yeah, I think like in the Kindle, I think it's cheaper, you know, like you said, I
Mhm.
think. But
Yeah, you can have a lot of books inside, so
yeah,
it's not bad things, but me too getting used to reading more than.
so the last question is, have you ever been part of a book club? And if not, would you like to be part of a book club? So, Deborah, have you ever been part of a book club?
When I was a child, almost teenager in my school, I was I have I have ever part of club of books because my school give us give us gift with how read more books, and then I I did it. I won a competition on the school because they they did us they did us some how I said I don't know in English is empurrão for the the students reading more. And now in my adulthood, I tried to participate in a book club, but they just reading a book. Uh, how I said classic books, and I don't like it to read classic books. It depends, actually depends of the book, but the most of book I don't like
Yeah, I think yeah, most books, classical books for me, it depends. Like if it's, I think it depends on the book, but most books that are like those, I don't know, Brazilian books, for example, that we have to read in school, like I think they are I don't know, they're not my favorite ones, like those that we need to read at school. But yeah, the other ones like I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, I've been also part of a book club at school, and I think it's great like for schools to do that, because that's like, especially this competition, I think it was awesome to make people like to read, and try to read more. It's really important. And yeah, what about you, Swelling? Have you ever been part of a book club?
No, I haven't. I haven't been part of a book club, but I joined a group on Facebook about books, and name call it Cia do Livro, I think. And there the people say the name of books for to read, or I don't know how can I say resenha the books, and that's nice. How about it?
Yeah, that's great. It's like a book club, but online. It's almost
Yeah.
like a book club. I think it's awesome. So, Bruna, what about you? Have you ever been part of a book club?
No, I haven't, but I would like to join in any group, any part of a book club, but I've never have this experience yet.
So, guys, I think we finished the questions and we have just a few minutes left. So, now I would like to thank you guys for coming today to this meeting. I love to share my thoughts with you guys and to discuss about these topics. I will search about the books that you said, Bruna, and I think it's really interesting and important. And yeah, I love this conversation. I hope you enjoy it and learn a little bit vocabulary, just practice your speaking. And
Sure.
that's it, guys. Do you want to say something, add something, or not? We have just 4 minutes.
Uh, I would just say that I love it, this immersion, because I haven't ever participated, and because I was afraid, but I like very much.
So yeah, I think I think here we don't have to be afraid. Like in my first meetings, I was also afraid of speaking, and now it's just easier for me because you get used to talk to people, and it's great to make friends too. So yeah, it's a great place.
Yeah, it's a
So
good, it's for me as well. I started, I think, 3 months ago, and I was afraid, so it's helped me a lot. And it's a great place to practice with respectful people in different subjects. So it's amazing. Nice to meet you all, because I think it's the first time that I'm enjoying with you, Luana, but
yeah,
it's very amazing. Thanks so much for everything.
thank you guys.
And for me, I participated on some classes here, but it's my first. No, it's my second. No, my first time that I open my camera, because
Yeah,
in the past I was so afraid to open because I made some expression that I hate, and for that I don't like it to open my camera. And now I'm a try to be to win this this fear.
Yeah. So
And today was just we four, and then I feel more comfortable with that. Just
yeah,
just
it
girls,
was
just girls.
yeah, just girls. That was nice. So yeah, nice to meet you guys. It was just only us in one room and only girls. It was awesome. So thank you guys for I loved the meeting. And that's
Thank you
it,
so
guys.
much. So see you.
So,
See
Bye
you.
bye.
bye.